So I know a lot of you guys are down bad on gems and you want to catch up to me. Voila! Hey, today we're going to be taking a look at the best damage farming, gem farming units in All-Star Tower Defense. Let's get it. Alright, first up guys, we have this guy on my shoulder, Vegumine, as the 10th best damage farm unit in the game. Let's go get him placed. And of course guys, I have my, you don't actually have to buff him. Alright, what makes him so special is actually a couple things. One, he does an insane amount of damage. Now he's actually not that bad of a unit even without it, but if we take a look guys, Final Bomb Lotion is a one-time use ability. It costs about $7 million, and once you do it, it's going to do 500 million damage to any enemy on the map. And the thing is, it will also delete his unit. Alright, so that means you can actually place him again, meaning you can do that as many times as you want, as long as you have enough money. Alright, also he's unsellable until you use his ability, but there you go guys, 500 million, and you can spam it as much as you like. Now, the reason I have him so low on this list is because, number one, I'm going to be honest, guys, 500 million damage is just not enough to beat the other units on this list. He's also very expensive, guys, at $7 million. Compared to the top units on this list, that's like double their cost. And but the one nice thing about him is he is reusable. So, next up, we have number 9. The number 9th best unit, guys, is actually probably no surprise to anybody. We have Guts. Now, the thing about Guts is on his face, he actually doesn't do a whole lot of damage. If we max him out, all right, I'm not gonna, you could get his last upgrade, I guess, if you want. It's not really that important because look how expensive it is. Who wants to spend 5 million for like that much? But if you take a look, his damage doesn't seem that high. But the thing is, he's such a good unit because of his ability that like you're gonna be able to reach such high waves and your damage is really gonna stack up. So if we get him buffed right here, you're gonna see he's doing 42.8 per hit, plus of course bonuses from a leader passive, etc. So he's gonna be doing close to 50 million damage, guys, which is not bad. And of course, he's going to be able to get you a high, like a super high wave, because he's actually the highest DPS unit in the game. So that's good enough to break him up, get him to number 9. Also, the reason he's so low as well is he's very hard to get. And of course, guys, if you don't know, the Guts banner is going away very, very soon in just like a few days. So he's going to be unobtainable for potentially a few months. So make sure you guys go get Guts if you don't already have his 5-star. All right, guys, that brings us to number 8. Now, this one, a lot of people thought he would be higher, but he's number 8. We have Tony Stark. All right, I'm gonna put him back here. Now, Tony Stark, the problem with him is he's kind of expensive. If you take a look, guys, he's gonna cost you $10.9 million. And the thing is, his damage is good, but it's not crazy good. If we take a look, guys, 18.2 million, and then he has 36.4, and then we'll throw the buff on him. And of course, with leader passive, he's like 150 million. Now, while that is good, you're gonna notice he's not actually a full AoE unit, which is a little bit depressing. So that's kind of why I don't like him. But again, some of his positives is he is free. All you guys have to do is prestige, so he'll cost you no gems to get. And yeah, that's pretty much the best thing about him. He's basically a free unit. But again, if we take a little bit look later on, there's another free-ish unit that's even better than him. So let's go. You can't sell him too, which is a little bit annoying. All right, that brings us to our next guy. Now, this one is really, really good if you guys are in World 1 or World 2. We have Light Yagami. Now, the one problem with Light Yagami is you need to equip this orb. It's kind of hard to see, but it's called the Death Orb. All right, that's going to give him a 500% buff. So if you stack them together. All right, once the buff reloads in a second here. All right, buff. All right, we'll just 3x it real quick. And then we should be able to buff right now. All right, that's gonna get into 116 million plus max. If you max out his level and give him leader bonus, it's even more. All right, and the one thing that's nice about him is you can actually place all 8 of them, unlike the other units. So he's actually pretty nice, and he is full AoE as well, which is very nice. And he's not that expensive. If we take a look, guys, if you want to max him out, he's only 3 million. So you can get roughly 4 of them for the price of one Tony Stark, which is actually pretty convenient. And of course, guys, you can wait to use him until the whole map is full, which is very, very convenient. So a very, very good unit, guys. And the reason I have him like better than Tony Stark is he's just way easier to get for new players, and he's and you can actually, I think, theoretically obtain him in World 1 without ever going to World 2. So that's kind of what makes him so great. All right, next up, guys, we have a unit that I think is just slightly better than Cura Darkness. We have Broly 7-star. Now, Broly 7-star does have some drawbacks, guys. The one main drawback with him is you have to be able to go into World 2 in order to get him, because you have to do his raids. And plus, you're going to have to solo the raids, which is a little bit difficult, but it's definitely doable. And what makes him so special, guys, is he is a full AoE unit. And if you can, and he has basically the same amount of damage but slower SPA. But look at this, guys. He's hitting the whole map. And if you give him like a blue eye orb, he's really hitting the whole map. And he's also like $3 million cheaper than Tony Stark as well. And you can see this AoE versus this AoE. He's basically like Light Yagami, but on full auto. But again, he's doing slightly less damage than Light Yagami, but he's also like slightly less of a pain in the butt to use. So that's why I ranked him slightly higher than Light Yagami. All right, let's go over to the top 5 best damage farm units in the game right now. All right, guys, now it's time for the top 5 best damage farm units in the game. Whoa, who's that on my shoulder? All right, guys. Yes, sir, guys. Number 5. I know he's kind of low on this list, but we have Boros. Hopefully, you guys don't get too mad at me, but the reason he's so low on this list is because every unit above him is just so freaking amazing that, yeah, it's a little bit sad for him. But also, this guy is very expensive. That's kind of his biggest con. All right, plus he's going away soon, and but he does hit airs. That's the other nice thing about him. And look at that, guys, 97.9 million damage with no buff. And if we throw the buff on him, oh my gosh, he's doing insane amounts of damage. Look at this. Look at this. 342 million damage per hit. That's just crazy, guys. And of course, guys, he doesn't require any abilities or any nonsense like that. He's just doing straight up damage. You can see, guys, we already got 2 billion. Yeah, he's that good. He's quite the unit. Very, very recommended to damage farm with if you don't have any of these other units, but I think you will, because the next unit, guys, number 4 is this guy right here, Light Yagami Origami, or Light Yagami Shinigami edition. If you guys don't know who this is kind of a meme unit, but it's half based on a real character in the show. A lot of people speculated that this is Light Yagami, guys, all right, as a Shinigami form, because they show him at the end of the Death Note anime. So that's what this guy's based off of. So he's kind of like half canon, but we're not, I guess we're technically not sure it's Light Yagami, but we're pretty sure it is, just kind of cut from the show. All right, and then what makes him a little bit better than Boros is he's doing 499 plus leader bonus would put him at like quite a bit of damage. Actually, usually gets up to 1.72 billion. Oh wait, yeah, that's just for his first upgrade. If you max him out, he's doing even more, guys. Look at this. He's now in the billions, and he's also reusable as well, which is a big reason why we have him so much higher on this list than anybody else, because every unit that goes after him is only usable once, and this guy is very, very good for gauntlet mode as well. I do believe you can damage farm in gauntlet mode. If that's not true, somebody can tell me in the comment section down below, but I'm pretty sure that's still possible. But yeah, 1.49 billion if he's not in your leader slot, and if he is in your leader slot, probably more than that. All right, that takes us, guys, to the number 3 best damage farm unit in the game. Now, I'm gonna be honest, guys, any of the top 3 is going to be more than enough to max out your damage farm task in one run. Honestly, this guy might be able to do it too. But the reason I have Ombre as the lowest of the top 3 is for a few reasons. One, you guys have to get him through trading. He's no longer obtainable, and not a lot of people did the event. It was like the Easter event like a year or two ago. So almost nobody did that event, so he's very hard to get. However, he is pretty cheap at only like 5 million to max. So very cheap. Also, guys, he does have a higher damage than Pharaoh, and he's easier to use. But there's a few problems with his ability, guys. One thing about his ability is it does not hit the whole map. Whenever I tested the ability, I'm pretty sure it just hits this ring. So you have to watch out for that. That's why I like the Pharaoh's ability a little bit better. It only hits the ring. And of course, guys, you can use him and Pharaoh at the same time, but you can't use him and Mob at the same time. But other than that, this guy also has some pretty busted damage. So if we buff him, he's also going to be doing 32.3 plus bleed. So he's also going to help you get a high wave. So overall, he's a great unit, guys. But for damage farm, he's just not quite the best. All right, number 2, guys, we have Mob. Now, I like Mob a lot because Mob is a hybrid unit. So you can do like farm mode and stuff with Mob. Now, again, Mob has the same problem. His ability does not hit the whole map. I've tested this in World 3 mode. Basically, I placed him in the back, and he only hit like half of the units in World 3 Infinite mode. So I know for a fact that this guy is not full map. He'll probably hit the whole map, but not always. So you have to be a little bit careful with where you place him, and try to place him towards the center of a map and not like the back of a map. He also, guys, has the highest amount of damage in the game. So like his ability Esperage, I believe, does 7.5 billion. So very, very high. However, again, he is a Stardust unit. So you have to wait for him to be on the banner, and he's not on the banner a lot. So that's another reason why we have him ranked not as high as the next unit. All right, so we have the best unit, guys, for damage farm in the game is the Pharaoh. I know he's harder to use, guys, with his annoying ability, but the reason I have him at number 1 is for first up, guys, he's super easy to get for new players. He shows up in the banner too. So that's very easy. You can also get him through trading as well if you're lower than level 100. And he is what I personally use on my new to pro account to max out my damage farm in one run, or like very easily. And he also, the nice thing about him is you can actually use him and Mob or him and Sid at the same time as well. So you can really max out that damage farm fast. So overall, guys, that's the reason why we have him at the top best damage unit in the game. Peace.